Hey everybody, it's Mr. Greg here, and the Mr. of course is here behind the scenes, and it's time for another submissions for Smorgie Live. So thanks to everybody for joining us and taking time out of your evening. We're super excited to have you guys here as part of submissions for Smorgie Live. So welcome, and we're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. And so want to go over so we can get to the questions. As always, you need to make sure that you are logged in to the chat so you can participate in the discussion. And if we call your name for a giveaway prize, you have just a few seconds in the chat to let us know that you're here, or we will draw another name. It happens pretty quick, so make sure that you're logged in and you can participate in the chat. Listen for your name. You never know who's going to win.
Explain to them how to enter. Because so far, there's only been 3 people who have entered for the giveaways, and we have 60 people watching. So we got to make sure they know.
To enter for the giveaway, super easy. You're going to head over to our website, thekindergartensmorgasbord.com. You will click on the first blog post. It says Submissions for Smorgie Live. Once you click into that blog post, that'll take you right into the post. You'll see the Rafflecopter Giveaway. All you have to do is enter your email address one time, and that enters you for all of the prizes for tonight. So again, you head over to thekindergartensmorgasbord.com. Click on the first Submissions for Smorgie Live blog post. You'll see the Rafflecopter. Is there a link to click on, or does it automatically show up?
I'm going to show you guys how to do it, because it never fails. Every month we have people that have a hard time finding it. So if it's your first time joining us, I'm going to show you how to go to enter the giveaway. So again, you just go to kindergartensmorgasbord.com, and this is what it's going to look like when you get there. You're going to scroll down, and you're going to see the very first blog post right here, which, there we go. Right here it says Submissions for Smorgie Live, February. You're going to click on that. Sorry, doing this upside down is difficult. And then you're going to scroll down, and right here is the Submissions for Smorgie Live giveaway. And you're just going to go right here via email, and you're going to enter your email address. That's it. So again, Submissions for Smorgie Live, February 2019 is the blog post. And you do that at thekindergartensmorgasbord.com.
There you go. Super simple. So head over, get entered. And remember, you have to be present in the chat to win. So make sure that you're logged in, you can participate in the chat. And remember, if we call your name for a giveaway, you're going to have just a few seconds to let us know that you're here. So if you hear your name for the giveaway, immediately type, "Hey, I'm here," so that we know you're here. So tonight we have at least 3 giveaways. We're giving away a 1-year ESGI license. And our friends from ESGI are here tonight, so they'll be helping to answer any ESGI-related questions. And so, as always, a huge thank you to ESGI for always sponsoring Submissions for Smorgie Live. They have sponsored every single one of our live broadcasts, so thank you to ESGI. We're giving away a $50 gift card to the tksstore.com, and somebody is going to win a free ticket to an Elevate conference of your choice. And so again, head over to the website to get entered, and we'll be giving those away throughout the show. So again, make sure you're logged in and listening, and if you hear your name, you have just a few seconds to let us know that you're here, or we will have to draw another name. All right, I think we're ready.
We are ready.
And remember, it's an Ask Anything show, so whatever questions you have for us, let us know. The more questions you ask, the more we can collaborate and share, and the better this goes. So ask those questions, and we will get started.
And also, before we get into the questions, one last reminder that I want to make sure everyone sees the comments that I just made in the chat box about ESGI and the amazing special they have going on right now. We'll be talking about that a little bit here in a little while, but I just gave the details of this amazing opportunity right now that you do not need to miss out on from ESGI. These are some of the most amazing things I've ever seen them do. So be sure you check that out and sign up using Smorgie Bonkers. All right, so our first question is from Miss Jones' class. What are your tips on day-to-day formative assessment?
Day-to-day formative assessments are really, for me, they're just kind of informal checklist, observation type things. We do things like with our TKS Bootcamp curriculum, there'll be a day where they do word writing. So there's a word writing practice page in the curriculum. And so that will be an assessment piece. But day to day, it's more just kind of informal observation, checklist type things day to day.
This one's from Lynette. What higher thinking level questions would you ask for letter and sound recognition?
Though that's hard. And, especially in kindergarten with things like letters and sounds, it's really hard to go higher order thinking. Trying to get them to come up with different words, addressing the meaning of the words. If there are multiple meaning words, trying to pull those in. What I do when I'm trying to do higher order thinking questions is we have a little Bloom's flip book in front of us that we have, and I always just will literally flip to like level 4, 5, or 6 and look at all of the sentence stems and sentence frames that we have for those levels and try to come up with some questions based on those sentence stems. But I love that question, and I'm actually going to make a note of that because that's something I want to look into, especially as we head into next school year with ABC Bootcamp. It would be nice to maybe have some of those higher order thinking questions and insert those into the boot camp.
Okay.
Awesome. So I'm going to make a note of that. But yeah, grab the Blooms and look at those sentence stems and question frames and kind of see if you can develop some there.
Do you know where to get the Bloom's flip book?
I have it. Maybe we can offer it as a freebie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get that out.
All right. From Mary Lou, can I start ABC Bootcamp mid-year? Does that make sense? We're 2/3 of the way through ABCs.
Absolutely.
Girl, if you had done ABC Bootcamp, you would have been done with all your ABCs, but within 26 days. Just saying.
Right. But yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Jump right in. I think it'll be fine, at least for the letters that you haven't covered yet. And then you can even go back and review the letters that you've already learned. But yes, if you're not doing ABC Bootcamp, we got to talk because you need to be doing ABC Bootcamp at the beginning of the year. You need to get those letters and sounds mastered in 26 days, and you're ready to move on. Your kids are going to be much better readers and writers. So yeah, if you're not doing ABC Bootcamp at the beginning of the year, let us know and we'll talk.
And you can learn more about ABC Bootcamp and the entire TKS Bootcamp curriculum by going to tksbootcamp.com. It's our newest website. Again, it's tksbootcamp.com. There you can see videos of Greg doing all the different components of TKS Bootcamp, and you can read more about just ABC Bootcamp if you choose and see exactly how he uses that in his classroom. The next question is from Karen. I know you have Journeys and use as supplement. Do you use it scope and sequence for phonics or strictly Bootcamp? We have Journeys, and I dislike it, but have to use it as our main curriculum.
Yeah, so Journeys is considered a resource for our district. And for phonics, we were given the choice of Journeys, or we could use other programs or curriculums as long as they were research-based, explicit and systematic, and they included assessments and decodable readers. And so the TKS Bootcamp curriculum covers all of those. It's systematic. It goes in order from ABCs and the alphabetic principle and progresses through the phonics skills and they increase in difficulty. It's explicit, and so you're giving the kids explicit instruction in letters and sounds and phonics. And then, of course, it's research-based as well. And so that's what we use. The scope and sequence that's included with TKS Bootcamp was created based on lots of research and best practices around a pacing of phonics. And so that's how we came up with our scope and sequence. So we use TKS Bootcamp as our phonics curriculum.
Sorry. This one's from, actually, wait. There was another bootcamp question. I want to stay on bootcamp while we're at it. I've lost it. Anyway, this one's from Holly. I'll come back to the other bootcamp question. How do you handle trips to the bathroom? Do you have a bathroom connected to your classroom? We actually do. We're very lucky. We have a bathroom in the classroom. And so the rule is they go. If they need to go, they go. They're 5 and 6. So if they need to go, they need to go because I don't want accidents on the carpet, especially on those beautiful rugs Alive from our friends at Alive Studios. I don't want any PPs on those. And so my kids just know they can go. Even if I'm teaching, I'm kind of relaxed about that. If they need to get up and go, go. But if the same person gets up like 6 times, like that was happening today, when they start to get up, I'm like, nope, sit. So we have that.
it's nice to have the bathroom in the classroom. It makes it really easy. And so we have a whole blog post about the toilet spider and how we handle the bathroom. And so you can go to the website and type in bathroom procedures and can find our bathroom procedure tips and tricks.
I found the other question. It's from Liz, and she wants to know if you have an intervention program you use for kids who still haven't mastered letters and sounds at this point of the year.
Yes, it's called. And so it can be used as a whole group, it can be a small group, and it can be used as an intervention piece. And so you can go back in and pull out the student books for letters and sounds. There are some letter and sound hunting that they can do, some activities in there. So there's lots of pieces, and the centers work great for small group intervention as well. So that's what we use for intervention. Also on our website, we have a letter tracing book, which is one of the more effective ways to work on letter recognition and sounds one-on-one. So you can check that out as well.
So just to add to that a little bit, ABC Bootcamp, you can use that, of course, as your main curriculum, like Greg does for phonics, but you can also use just components of ABC Bootcamp for your intervention, correct? Which is basically what
Yes.
you're talking about. So if you get the ABC Bootcamp program or you get just that particular component, not only can you use it to actually introduce them to your students at the beginning of the year in the first 26 days, but you can also continue to use it for those students who need a little additional help after you've already completed your ABC Bootcamp. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Another question about Bootcamp was, Amy said that she does a letter of the week, which she thinks is old school. She wants to do Bootcamp next year, but she's guessing the first week of school is not a good time to start since many kids are still crying.
We actually start ABC Bootcamp on day 3. So we start the first week of school. It gives number one, we jump right in, and it starts to give the kids that structure, which they thrive on, which can sometimes help some of those nerves and the crying. But yeah, jump right in the first week of school.
Michelle wants to know what decodables you're using during ABC Bootcamp.
So the TKS Bootcamp curriculum includes decodable readers. And so what we did for ABC Bootcamp is they are alphabet books. And so they're just, there's a picture, and then the sentence would be like, V is for van. V is for, now I can't think, vase. And so they're just simple alphabet books. And then the other version is just one word. So it would say vine, van, vet, just so that they're seeing those words in print and then applying that beginning sound and letter to reading those words.
Do you have ESGI test for Blend Bootcamp?
Yes. Yep. There should be, as far as I know, there are assessments for all the boot camps.
Making sure I've got all the bootcamp questions answered here. Sorry. I think so. If you guys have, oh wait, here we go. If I'm going to start next year with bootcamp, what do you recommend I purchase first? Keep in mind low funds, and yes, I want to buy everything.
I would honestly recommend the entire curriculum, the TKS Bootcamp bundle. You're going to get all 9 of them at a 25% discount. And so you're going to save yourself a ton of money over the long run. And then you're getting a year-long math and literacy curriculum. And so that would be my number one, would to buy the bundle. And if that's not possible, start with ABC Bootcamp.
And just as an FYI, if you do not have an account at tksstore.com, if you sign up for an account at the tksstore.com and activate it, you'll get a coupon code for 25% off your first purchase or your next purchase. And so not only is the TKS Bootcamp bundle already 25% off, if you sign up for an account at tksstore.com, you'll get that coupon code and you can get an additional 25% off the already discounted 25% off. So that's the best way to go about it. If you're looking to purchase the entire bundle and you need significant savings on it, that's the best way to do it. Buy the bundle, but before you purchase, sign up for an account and activate it. You've got to sign up and activate, so be sure to check your email after you sign up. And then once you do, you'll get another email that has the coupon code in it. So that's the best way to go about purchasing any first purchase in our store at tksstore.com. Michelle wants to know what is covered in Bouting Bootcamp. We just finished the regular Val boot camp, and even my lowest kids are now reading Magic Keyword.
Woohoo! And that's and we hear that all the time. And we need to do another study on the rest of the curriculum. But we hear that all the time, and that's the power of boot camp, is that the consistency of it allows the kids to really focus on the skills and the content, and you see amazing growth across the board with your students and all of the boot camp curriculums. So woohoo, that makes me so excited to hear. Val Teams covers Val Teams and Val Pairs, like EE, AR, OR. So that it's covering the Val Teams, Val Pairs. And so that's what you'll get with Val Teams. And if you look at the description, I think we have listed out what Val Teams are included.
So again, to get all of those details on the bootcamp curriculum, you can see the overall curriculum, and you can also dive into each of those different components by going to tksbootcamp.com. Would you recommend ABC Bootcamp to pre-Kers?
Absolutely. We have lots and lots of pre-K teachers who use ABC Bootcamp. And so it's absolutely geared for pre-K. And you can do a letter a day. You can use it for a letter a week. And we have people, pre-K teachers, who have done a combination. So they'll do a letter a day for 26 days, and then they come back and do letter a week. So it absolutely will work for pre-K.
Would you recommend Nope. Do you recommend to start over on ABC Bootcamp for the students who still at this point in the year are not learning their letters?
I would not start over for whole group, but I would, the students who need more practice with letters and sounds, I would use ABC Bootcamp as a small group intervention tool.
I think I've got them all now.
Here's another one, and I'll
go for it.
Christy says, these boot camps are step-by-step lesson plans, and no, they are not. Nothing that I create includes step-by-step lesson plans. Here's why. I don't know your teaching style. I don't know your kids, and I would never pretend to write a lesson plan and say, here, do this. So I don't include step-by-step lesson plans for that reason. I wouldn't want somebody to do that for me. And so I don't do that intentionally in our resources, because I just don't think that that's the right thing to do. That said, there are lots and lots of tips and strategies and ideas for teaching the boot camps. We have lots of videos on our website as well, and you'll get a very good idea of how to do it. But that leaves it also very flexible so that it works for your students and your teaching style in your classroom.
Okay, so questions are coming in faster than I can ask them. So I know you guys are probably going to say, oh my gosh, he's not asking a question. Well, what I try to do is I try to group them so that we stay on the same topic for a while. So what's happening here is boot camp has become a big topic, and a lot of people are wanting to know about it. So we've stayed on that topic for a while. And so that's what I like to do. If I see a topic that's very popular, I like to stay on that topic until we kind of feel like we've got most of all the questions answered about that particular topic. That said, also, if you've asked a question, I have made note of the question, and it will get answered at some point during this broadcast. At the end, we always do a lightning round where Greg answers them all really quick. So don't fret if you've asked a question. I'm going to do my very best to get to it as quick as possible, and if not, we'll get to it at the very end. Let's see. Let's go with research projects. This
all right.
Questions from Laura. How many research projects do you do in a month?
It kind of depends, but on average, 2. This year, our district adjusted our scope and sequence. And so we now have 3-week units. So we get about 2 research projects in a month.
So Michelle wants to know what you do about research projects when school is canceled. Do you double up, skip the topic, or do you extend the research project?
Again, it really depends. This year, our district has gotten a little more strict on the scope and sequence, and so we've played really nice this year with our scope and sequence. And so normally we kind of just, if we have snow days, we just would pick up where we left off before the snow days and just kind of bump everything back. This year we haven't had any snow days, so we haven't really had that. But with the district scope and sequence this year, and with them kind of being a little more strict on the timing, we probably just would skip it and move on.
Suzanne says, when you use your research journals and write your class ideas on the anchor charts, do your students just copy what you write, or do they have to do parts of the research journals on their own?
They do both. And so the anchor charts and the graphic organizers are giving them the scaffolding that they might need. So for kids who are just kind of need to copy, it's there, they can copy it to it. Some kids will write completely on their own. So it really depends. And the graphic organizers, of course, are giving them the scaffolding. So one thing I'll do also is I'll pull the kids one-on-one when I get a chance, and we'll look at their writing, and I'll say, oh, well, today, so like today we did Living Things, our new living and non-living research project, and they were writing about what living things need. And so they would write, living things need water. And I would say, why do they need water? And so I will push them to kind of add more on their own as well.
So Alexia said that she's noticed you've changed some of your scope and sequence to make it more geared towards science and social studies. Is that due to district changes?
Yes, that's coming from the district. And so it hasn't been an easy adjustment for my team and myself, but we've made it work. And we've heard that next year we'll have a little bit more flexibility, so we'll be able to go back a little bit. But the changes you're seeing are really coming from the district. And so we're doing our part to make sure that what we're doing is what the district wants, but also what's best for our kids. And that's why you're seeing some of the new research projects come out, because that's what it's in our scope and sequence. And so I'm creating those resources to make sure that my kids can be successful.
Sarah says, for your written research projects, when do you fit that into your schedule? Is it during writing time, science, or social? It's
actually during our ELA block. And so the research projects are, they're science and social studies, but they're also meeting a lot of ELA standards, such as research and writing. So they're done during the ELA block.
This one's from Kinder with Q. How long does it take you to get so many centers and fun manipulatives established in your organized drawer system? So like erasers and gems, etc.
Let's see, this is my 10th year in kindergarten, so 10 years. I mean, it takes a long time to build up, collections of things. And so it takes a while. And I always tell people, just start with what you have in your classroom and build from there.
Monica says, I know your resources are similar for centers. Just kind of change out the clip art. Explain that a little bit, because you don't just change out the clip art. Do all the resources you sell give all the instructions to introduce those the best way? So what Monica's talking about is that all of our centers and our research projects, our Read It Up, our Math It Up, those are all everything we create, I'm very intentional that the process is the same. The boot camp curriculums, the process is the same, because I want it to be consistent so that our kids can focus on the learning and not necessarily on learning a new process. And so the skills change, the clip art changes, but the process will stay the same in centers. And so that's kind of very intentional on my part. Again, it just makes it easy for us and for our kids to be successful. And I forgot the rest of the question. Oh, directions. Got it. Yeah, the directions.
So,
sorry, I already.
Yeah. And so everything comes with, like I said earlier, no step-by-step lesson plans, but we do give directions on how to use each of the centers and games and resources. And a lot of times we even include some ideas for differentiation. How do you store your centers? All of my centers are stored in the closet in my classroom. They are sorted by skill, not by month or theme, but by skill. Makes it a lot easier to change out centers. I can just grab a tub of letters or sounds or whatever and grab what I need and change out centers quickly. How many students, this one's from Brianna, how many students are in your center groups, and how many centers do you have going at one time? So let me start with how many centers. So we actually have 5 centers, but I want you to picture the 5 centers as the umbrellas. So we have 5 umbrellas then under those umbrellas, we have lots of different choices. So we have 5 centers going at a time, but 5 literacy centers for math. But the kids have lots of choices under that umbrella. So if they're at Tubs, they've got 9 Tubs. If they're at Lightbox, they have lots of Lightbox activities. So that we have 5 centers with lots of choices built in. How many kids are in the groups? It really varies. Right now, I have a group of 3, have a couple groups of 5, and a group of 6. And so it really just kind of varies. It's all data driven. And so it's looking at the data and creating the groups based on data.
From Michelle, how often do you change out your centers?
So I totally change out all of them about once a month. And then we kind of keep it fresh every couple of weeks by pulling out a couple, putting in new ones, shifting a couple of things around. So every couple of weeks, we freshen it up a little bit. And then every month we change out all of them.
This one's from Christy. How do you keep your kids engaged in centers? I switch them up, but the kids are hard to keep on the engagement wagon.
So number one, it's about training and expectations. And so the kids know this is the expectation. The other thing is, we always want them to be fun. And I think so many times we're scared of our centers to be fun because if somebody sees cute, fun centers, they're automatically going to think they're not rigorous or academic. And that's not true. And the thing is, if we want our kids to be engaged, they have to be having fun. And so our centers need to be fun so that the kids will be engaged. And again, it's really about setting those expectations.
Do you always have 5 ELA and 4 math, or does it depend on what differentiation is needed?
No, those are always the same. We always have 5 literacy centers and 4 math. So those stay the same. The differentiation happens in the choices. And so those 5 umbrella centers are always the same. The differentiation comes into those choices.
This question is from Mel D. Do you ever do small groups for math instruction? If so, how do you do them, and what are the other kids doing?
So we do small group math, just like we do guided reading. So it's data-driven, skill-based. The other kids are off in working in math centers, and I'm pulling small groups. It could be lots of things. We could be working on, it could be a group who need help with the skill that we worked on today. So today we were making 10, and so with snap cubes. And so we were using our snapping numbers resource. So I pulled some kids to the table and we worked on making 10 in a small group. Maybe it's a group who needs some help still with numbers and counting. So I might pull them over. We might do a little work with number recognition and one-to-one correspondence. And so it really just kind of depends on the group and what skills we're working on. Very similar to guided reading or small group instruction in literacy.
This question's from Hey, Jesse. What are some of your centers you would recommend for first graders?
We have some year-long centers. There's a pineapple and a cactus and a unicorn. Those would be really good for first grade because they have some more challenging activities and skills for later in the year. So that would work. We have one for number words, which I know is a first grade skill. Trying to think. Any of our sight word resources would work for first grade because they contain 200 sight words and then they're editable, so you can make sight word games for your kids. So any of our sight word resources would work. Trying to think. Any of them really, because you're going to differentiate. So I would any of them, but yeah, the sight words. We have a number of words. Those would be good ones to start with.
Luann wants to use light boxes. Where can she find the glass-looking cubes?
Those are actually reusable ice cubes, and you can get them on Amazon, at Walmart, Dollar Tree, any place like that.
Shelby wants to know, how long are your centers each day?
Literacy centers run about an hour. Math centers run about 30 to 40 minutes.
This question's from Megan. For some reason, I cannot seem to have functional centers and full small groups. The centers get too crazy. I guess my question is, if the students do not lend to the center time for groups, when else?
I honestly wouldn't know when to pull my small groups if the kids weren't in centers, because I can't pull a small group without the other kids being engaged. And so That's why we spend the first 9 weeks of school really establishing our center procedures and all of our routines and expectations so that I can pull small groups while the rest of the kids are working.
So if you have more questions about center time, how Greg runs his centers, you can find out more at thekindergartensmorgasbord.com. Simply go there and you can type, for instance, if you want to learn about the light box, you can type light box in the search and see all the activities he uses with the light box. You can even see how he made his own light box. So we need to remind everyone, because we're just about 15 minutes away from giveaway closing. So we need to remind everyone what to do to enter the giveaway.
So if you want to enter the giveaway for tonight's giveaways, which are a 1-year license for ESGI, a $50 gift card to the tksstore.com, and a free ticket to Elevate. You're gonna head over to our website, thekindergartensmorgasbord.com. You're gonna click on the Submissions for Smorgie Live blog post. That blog post will pull up. You'll see the Rafflecopter, the little box will pop up, and it'll say enter via email. Just click that, enter your email address, and you'll be entered for tonight's giveaways. With that said, you must be present in the chat to win. So if you're over here in the chat and you're chatting and talking, you're good. So make sure you can,
As long as you've entered.
as long as you've entered, make sure you can participate in the chat, because what happens is when it's giveaway time, we'll call your name. You'll have just a few seconds to type something in the chat so that we know you're here. And so make sure you're listening and you've got fast fingers. So if we call your name, you can let us know you're here. So again, head over to thekindergartensmorgasbord.com, click on the Submissions for Smorgie Live blog post. You'll scroll down and you'll see the little Rafflecopter giveaway box. Just click where it says enter via email and put in your email address and you're entered.
And so one of the things we're giving away tonight is a free 1-year subscription of ESGI. They are one of our biggest supporters, and they have sponsored Submissions for Smorgie Live since we began this 3 years ago. Has it been 4? 4 years ago. So right now they have the best offer that I've ever seen them give in the entire time that we have been partners with them. So Greg, will you tell them about what the offer is with the SGI right now? If you've been holding off on and basically thinking I'm going to wait until I have the funds to do this, now's the time to have the funds to get ESGI, and here's why.
So right now with ESGI, it's called Going Bonkers with ESGI. The code, I'm going to say it, and then Jason will put it in the chat, Smorgie Bonkers. And if you sign up for your free trial using the code Smorgie Bonkers between now and February 22nd, you're going to be entered to win a $500 Amazon gift card or an Apple Watch. If you purchase by February 22nd, you're going to save $40 off of the cost. You're going to get an additional 6 months on your subscription. So you're going to get a total of 18 months. And you're going to receive a $50 spa gift card. And again, that's the code Smorgie Bonkers. So let me go over that again real quick, and then we'll get back to questions. Smorgie Bonkers is the code. If you use that code to get your free trial between now and February 22nd, you're automatically entered to win a $500 Amazon gift card or an Apple Watch. If you purchase ESGI by February 22nd using the code Smorgie Bonkers, you're going to save $40 off of the cost. You're going to get an additional 6 months on your subscription, and you're going to receive a $50 spa gift card. So if you have thought about ESGI, if you've been holding off on it, now's the time to do it. So before February 22nd, use that code Smorgie Bonkers, get your free trial, register and pay by February 22nd to get that extra 6 months and your $50 spa gift card.
And so one thing I want to make sure everyone understands about that is that that is for new subscribers only. So if you already have a subscription to ESGI, then of course you're not signing up for a new subscription because you're already subscribed. And so this is for new subscribers. And so someone, as said a minute ago, they have a hard time finding time in the day to use ESGI. What would you say about that?
So we use it as our weekly common formative assessment. And so on Friday, that's when I pull the kids and do ESGI with them. And it's always one literacy assessment and one math assessment on Friday, whatever skills we're working on that week. Of course, we use it for our report cards as well. So at the end of the 9 weeks, takes me one day with ESGI to assess all of their report card skills. And then, of course, beginning of the year, we're using it to get baseline data as well. But here's the thing. It's so easy and so fast. If I want to get some quick on-the-fly data, I can grab my iPad and I can test the kids on greater than, less than in a matter of 5 minutes, and I've got the data and I can adjust my instruction. So that's kind of how we use it. But really, it really happens for us on Fridays as our common formative assessment.
And remember, the idea behind ESGI isn't to add something else for you to do. It's to help you do what you already have to do faster.
Right.
That's what it's there for. Based on the research they've done, they save teachers on average of 400 hours per year. So they're helping you do something that you already have to do,
yep.
just doing it faster.
Yep.
So again, that code is Smorgie Bonkers, Bonkers. That's right. Our friends at ESGI have gone absolutely bonkers with this deal, and you do not want to miss it. You can head over to our Facebook page, and there you can see all the details of how everything, how all those deals work. But we just explained it all to you here as well, and I'll put it in writing here in a little bit as well. All right, so, and ESGI is here, so I'm sure we have some questions coming in for ESGI, so hopefully they can help answer those questions as those start rolling in. All right, let's get back to our gazillion questions that we have tonight, which is great, by the way, no complaints. This one's from Megan, and she says, I have a formal observation tomorrow during my math block. I'm using your Get Out of My Boat activity. What are your tips for doing well with questioning and such for an observation in a kinder class?
So I always try to get the kids to explain what we're doing or what they're doing. So as we're doing Get on the Boat, for example, I would get them to talk about how we're putting together and how that means add, or if we're subtracting, we're taking away. So get them to explain to each other. Maybe kind of asking them, what would happen if, do some turn and talk, get them to turn and talk to a partner about how, what was happening, how it worked, getting them to walk through the equations. So just constantly asking them what we're doing, how it works, why it works, and that will really help.
This one's from Tiff. What interventions do you use for math when students still are struggling with number sense and number recognition?
So Number Bootcamp is great for that. So within Number Bootcamp, there are lots of small group activities and intervention pieces that you can use. We also have a fun little game on our website, the Number Race, where it's a number matching game to help with number recognition. Lots of small group work with 10 frames, building that number sense, one-to-one correspondence. We do our calendar routine every day, where every day they're working on numbers and number sense. So we're doing lots of things every day. But Number Bootcamp would be a great small group intervention for you.
Do you know anyone who uses everyday math curriculum?
I do not, and I don't know anything about it.
No. I thought you were going to say more.
No.
It's like, I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it, so I don't have more to say.
Do you find... Does it seem that parents seem to find it monotonous to get the same worksheets over and over from centers, like C-Count Graph? Do you send those worksheets home?
Yeah, they take all of their center work home.
Do the parents ever complain that it's kind of the same things over and over?
And the reason that the families don't is because we explain that to the families at the beginning of the year. So it's explained to them, why are these papers coming home? This is why they don't have a grade on them. This is why you see the same, that how they look the same, but really they're not the same because the kids are practicing different skills at different times of the year. So it's really just about communicating to the parents.
So let's see. Someone had a question about numbers. Sarah said that she's gone through Number Bootcamp, but she has some that still struggle with teen numbers. Do you have any suggestions?
We do a lot, and teen numbers are just hard for kids. We struggle with them too. Sometimes I've got a number recognition PowerPoint, and we go through it at least once a week at this point, just to build that number fluency. In our calendar, we do a 10 frame every day. And so we talk a lot about 10s and 1s and how 10 and 3 make 13. So those kinds of number sense things. But if it's simply a number recognition, do a number recognition PowerPoint every day and build that number fluency.
This one's from Monica. Are you gearing up for Dr. Seuss Fund?
We do Read Me Week in our district. And so we have theme day, and we usually have a book or a theme of books that we use that week. Not necessarily Dr. Seuss, it's whatever the school or the district provides. So, and I don't really remember what they are off the top of my head.
Did you write the I Can Read poem?
Yes.
Well, I guess I should planning to use it.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you wrote that.
Yeah, there is a poem on our website for Dr. Seuss Week. Yeah. There's also we also have a sight word game in our store. It's called the Crazy Cat, and it's a fun sight word matching game.
Angela wants to know if you do guided reading small groups. If so, what does that look like in your room?
We do guided reading and we do small groups. Two very different things. Guided reading is using leveled books with the kids on their instructional level with books in front of them. And we do Jan Richardson's model, so we kind of follow her model for guided reading with a few tweaks. And then small groups is usually phonics driven, and they're ability groups, so it's again data driven, pulling the kids who need work on certain parts of the phonics skill like decoding or writing, and that's when we use our boot camp curriculum. We use the decodable readers and during those small groups as well.
Do you do project-based learning in your classroom?
So our research projects that's kind of what we use for project-based learning, because we try to pull in some STEM things. We do the Mad Science on Thursday, which we try to tie into the research projects. But that's really kind of where our project-based learning is in those research projects.
Alexa says, I'm a big fan of your morning meeting videos, as I am a big responsive classroom believer. How many of those practices do you incorporate into your classroom community as regular practice?
Regular practice, Rally Robin, kind of, Alexa is talking to us
Because
again.
she heard me say, don't say the word again.
Morning meeting, teacher talk, which was a big one for me of responsive classroom, which was that more of that direct talking to the kids instead of saying, will you please sit down? It's please sit down. And so getting them to, so really morning meeting, teacher talk are the two that I implement daily in my class from responsive classroom.
I'm gonna give her a moment to clear out because she thinks we're still talking to her. Angela says that their district is pushing project-based learning in all grade levels. Do you have any suggestions on how to do that in kindergarten? Also, do you have any resources to help with PBLs?
The research projects would give you a good foundation, and then you could incorporate some projects with it. Like we did one year, we did our zoo animal research project, and then the project-based learning part was the kids had to actually create an exhibit for a zoo animal and then present that to the class. So, you know, project-based learning, it sounds overwhelming, but if you kind of take it step by step and make the project part something that kindergartners can do, it's not as scary as it sounds.
Karen wants to know where you get your ideas for Mad Science Thursday. I'm doing the ice cream, salt, and glue tomorrow.
So most of them come from our Mad Science creations. We have Mad Science, and then we have the holiday-themed Mad Science. So that's where a lot of them come from. But also Pinterest, and you know, people share ideas on social media. And I'm like, ooh, that looks like a lot of fun. We'll try that.
Are you involved in digital portfolios with your students?
No.
Trisha wants to know what you would do if you had started Val Boot Camp and the Sight Word program, Sight Word 60, about 2 weeks ago, but then all of a sudden you have a bunch of snow days and you're having a hard time getting through it.
Well, remember, Sight Word 60 should only take you 5 to 6 minutes a day. So it should be super fast. That's the whole idea behind it. Just a few minutes a day, but you're still getting tons of repetitions, and that's why it's so effective. So don't spend more than 5 or 6 minutes on Sight Word 60. And with the vowels, our phonics, we do about 20 minutes. of whole group instruction with the VAL bootcamp or any of the bootcamp curriculums. So just remember, number one, sight words, 5 minutes. VALs take, or phonics bootcamps, about 15 to 20 minutes.
All right. So in talking about centers and the worksheets or the recording sheets that go along with the activities, how do you check those? And how much time do you spend checking those recording sheets? I
do not check those recording sheets. So I do not check their center work, simply for the fact that I would have a stack of papers every night this big to check. Our centers are differentiated. So they're designed so the kids can be about 95% successful. That 5% is what kind of gives them that challenge and that little bit of that frustration to push them. So they should be doing them, and most of the time they're doing them correctly. And again, everything's so differentiated and targeted. That's why it works, but I do not check those. The kids will show them to me when I'm in small groups. I'm up and moving between my small groups and monitoring what they're doing. So I'm aware of what they're doing. I'm checking on them. I'm keeping my eye on them, but I'm not picking up those recording sheets from centers and grading them or checking them. When they're done, they go in their cubby and they go home.
So Hidden Kiss wants to know how you do sight words in 5 minutes. It takes her forever. You can find out by going to the blog and type sight word 60 in the search. You can follow Greg's sight word 60 program and do your sight words in 5 minutes a day.
Yep.
And you cover how many? 4 words?
We do 4. Yep.
And so Diantha wants to know how you fit in 4 words if you were to only have short 4-day weeks.
Say that again.
How would you fit your 4 new words when you have short 4-day weeks?
I would simply take out 1 day of sentences. So instead of 2 days of the kids making sentences, just do 1 day of sentences.
Does your instructional aide take small groups, or does he or she oversee the centers? Sarah.
What instructional aide?
In his classroom. It's him all day, every day, one man, 19 students.
Just me. Just me.
She's new to the Smorgie.
Yeah, no, just me. I have no parapro, no assistant, no aide.
It's funny. We share videos. You can see videos on Facebook of live feeds from his classroom all the time, and from time to time there will be someone that just kind of passes through that's doing something in the classroom, coming to get a kid or something like that, and all of a sudden they'll be like, somebody, aha! You do have help. You do have an aide. No, that's just somebody passing through. Well, his only help is me.
Right? And people are like, we hear her. No, you don't. There's no one to hear. I promise. There's nobody. I don't have an assistant that we hide in the closet. I promise.
I promise we're not hiding anyone.
If I had an assistant, I would tell you all. I promise. We tell you everything else.
Amy wants to know how many you have in your class. You have 19. All right. So we still have a ton of questions to get to. And we have a lot still to cover, but we've got to do some giveaways.
So let's give away.
So what do you want to give away first? Give away
the gift card.
Gift card.
Because everybody's been talking about centers and research projects and boot camp. So now somebody's going to get a $50 gift card to the TKS store, so you can go get some stuff at the tksstore.com.
And so what can they do at the tksstore.com to save some additional money?
So if you do not have an account at the tksstore.com, you can go and create an account, and you'll get an email and it says activate your account. Once you activate your account, you're going to get a coupon code for 25% off of your first order. So head over to the tksstore.com after the show. Sign up for an account if you don't already have one. You'll get an activation email. P.S. Make sure you type in your email address correctly.
Amen.
Because otherwise, you'll email Jason and he'll have to fix it, and then just make sure.
It's very hard to fix, by the way. It's not as simple as you would think. Just go in and edit the email address. Oh no, it's not that simple.
So just head over to the tksstore.com, set up your account, create an account, activate that account when you get the email, and then you'll receive 25% off of your first purchase.
All right, so we're getting ready to give away a $50 gift card to the TKS store. I just typed it in the chat. So what you've got to make sure you're ready to do is, if you've entered your email address into tonight's giveaway by going to the blog, then you need to be perking your ears up right now, because we're getting ready to give away our first prize. You've got to type "I'm here" in the chat if your name is called.
So here we go. The winner is
Amy Maruska. And Amy, I know you're here because I've seen your name multiple times, or at least you were. Amy Maruska, if you are here, type "I'm here" in the chat to let us know. Yay, congratulations, Amy. I see you. So we will be in touch via email with instructions on how to claim your $50 gift card to the tksstore.com. Woohoo! Let's go ahead and give away that Elevate ticket too, why don't we?
All right.
So we have 4 Elevate conferences coming up in 2019. However, one of them is already completely sold out, and that's Elevate San Diego coming up next month on March 16th. But we got 3 more. Greg, you want to tell them about the 3 conferences?
So we are headed. I have to go through them in order every time, or I forget. Nashville. We're coming home to Nashville for Elevate Nashville on June. I can't remember the dates. I just know where we're going.
Just in June. Just
June.
Yeah, they can go to elevateyourclassroom.com.
Yeah, elevateyourclassroom.com to get all the details. So we're doing Nashville in June, which we're super excited about. It's our 3-year anniversary. We're going to be home in Nashville, so we're super pumped. Then we're headed to Elevate Austin in July, and then Elevate Chicago in October. So Nashville, Austin, and Chicago. We're coming for you with Elevate, so we want to see you all there. So you can head over to elevateyourclassroom.com to get all the details, dates, locations, and get registered. Let me say this. San Diego sold out like 2 to 3 months early. Everyone out, we know that these will sell out. They always sell out early. And then we get, 70 to 80 people or 100 people on a waiting list, and everybody wants tickets. So if you're thinking about it, if you want to come, get your tickets now for Elevate 2019. Otherwise, they will sell out, and then you'll be very sad. So head over to elevateyourclassroom.com, get your tickets to Elevate, and we hope to see you in Nashville, Austin, and Chicago this year.
Austin is not sold out, Nashville is not sold out, and Chicago is not sold out. Those 3 still have tickets available. However, I am pretty sure that the early bird tickets are gone on each of them. We sold a ton of tickets over the weekend, and I'm not sure how they were divided amongst those 3 conferences. But don't wait. Again, like Greg said, please do not wait until 30 days before or 60 days before. Register now if you know you want to come, so that you're sure to get tickets and not end up on the waiting list. And those will be the only Elevate conferences in 2019. Those 3. We won't be anywhere else. So if you want to see Mr. Greg in 2019, those are the 3 cities where you can see him. You can see him in Austin, you can see him in Nashville, and you can see him in Chicago.
All right.
All right, let's get back to the question. Oh, no, we're going to give away. We haven't given away yet.
Hey, we're going to give away. Never mind. Let's
Never
ask
mind.
the question.
Moving on. All right, so the winner is Jennifer Richter, R-I-C-H-T-E-R. Jennifer Richter, if you're here, please type "I'm here" in the chat so that we know that you're here, and then we'll be in touch via email on how to claim your prize. Jennifer Richter, are you here? Jennifer Richter.
No.
Jennifer Richter, R-I-C-H-T-E-R. Zuni Teacher is the email address. Zuni Teacher. Going once.
It's her birthday today. Where is she?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Jennifer,
no.
I hope you didn't leave.
Ah.
I would hate for you to miss out on this prize and someone else get
Oh,
it.
there she is.
Yay!
Woo!
Congratulations, Jennifer. So the way this is going to work is this. So Jennifer, we're going to be in touch with you how to claim that prize. But if for some reason you are unable to attend Elevate, say you're nowhere near any of those 3 cities that's available, which is Austin, Nashville, or Chicago, you can let us know right now, and we'll go ahead and draw another name. However, if you're not sure yet, you can let us know via email if it turns out that you can't come, and we will pass that savings on to someone else. So that ticket or that win will not go to waste. Either Jennifer will get it, or we'll randomly pick someone else to get that ticket.
Yay, congratulations, Jennifer,
Congrats,
and happy
Jennifer.
birthday.
Should we go ahead and do ESGI too? Yeah, let's do it. It's almost 8 o'clock.
Yep.
So it's time. All right. So Greg, tell them about ESGI real quick and the amazing offer that's available right now.
So ESGI is my #1 classroom tool. It's a one-on-one assessment tool. It's all done online, so you can use your laptop, your computer, your iPad, or any tablet. And it's just a one-on-one assessment tool. It will save you tons of time in the classroom, makes assessment and data collection super easy. Right now they're doing, ESGI has gone completely bonkers, and they're giving them away a pretty awesome package. So you want to use the code Smorgie Bonkers. This is for new subscribers only. Smorgie Bonkers. If you register with that code between now and February 22nd, you'll be entered into a drawing for a $500 Amazon gift card or an Apple Watch, and that'll get you your 60-day free trial. If you purchase ESGI with the code Smorgie Bonkers between now and February 22nd, so if you buy it between now and February 22nd with the code Smorgie Bonkers, you're going to get $40 off of your subscription. You're going to get an additional 6 months on your subscription, and you're going to receive a $50 spa gift card.
Y'all, this is the best. The ESGI has been doing these specials for like the last 3 weeks. This is going on week 3. The first week was a $50 gift card to Amazon. The second week was $50 something else. I forgot what it was. Oh my gosh. ESGI, tell us what it was in the chat. And now this week is a $50 gift card to a spa. So this stuff is amazing. So basically, not only are you getting a $40 savings on the price, so it goes from $199 to $159, you're also getting $50 to spend towards something else. So really, oh, it was jewelry last week. Yeah, that's right, Kendra Scott. So basically, for $109, really, not really, kind of, sort of, in a roundabout way, $109, you're getting ESGI for 18 months. Not 12 months. Normally you get 12 months, but during this amazing offer, you're getting it for 18 months. It's absolutely amazing. So again, you're going to use Smorgie Bonkers to get that savings. And tonight's winner of a 1-year subscription is Sarah Durso. Sarah Durso, you are a winner of a 1-year subscription to ESGI software. Sarah, if you're here, please type "I'm here" in the chat. And I know she was earlier because she's the one that asked the question about you having an aid. Sarah Durso, are you still here?
She's here.
Woo! All right, Sarah. So ESGI will be in touch on how to claim your prize. So be on the lookout for an email from them. And congratulations.
Did you see Jennifer Richter's message?
No, what?
She is already going to Elevate San Diego. And so she said to go ahead and give it away again.
Ah, awesome. Cool. All right. Did she say to go ahead and give it away again?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so she said, and I'm from California, so go ahead and give it away again.
Okay, so let's see. So guys, what we're doing here, in case you have not heard, Sarah Richter just won a free registration to an Elevate conference.
Jennifer Richter.
What did I say?
Sarah.
Oh, sorry. Jennifer Richter just won a registration to an Elevate conference of her choice. However, she's already attending Elevate San Diego, so she has asked us to go ahead and give away another prize. So instead of Jennifer coming to Elevate for free, Tracy Wood is coming to Elevate for free. Tracy Wood, if you are here, please type "I'm here" in the chat to let us know that you are here so that you can claim your free Elevate ticket. So Tracy, you have won a ticket to go to Elevate Nashville, Elevate Austin, or Elevate Chicago.
Tracy's here.
So Tracy, let us know if maybe you're already attending Elevate. Or if you can't attend, I will pass that same offer along. Tracy, if you can't attend, just let us know. We'll draw another name. Or you can gift it to someone. Or if it turns out that later you find out you can't come, we'll pass it along to someone else. So we'll be in touch with Tracy via email, as well as Amy Maruska, who won the $50 gift card to the TKS store, and Sarah Durso, who won a 1-year subscription to ESGI software. So congratulations to all of our winners tonight, and a huge thank you to Jennifer for doing that and passing that prize on to Tracy. All right, so back to the question, shall we?
All right, it's lightning round time.
Whew, it's already 8 o'clock. So guys, no new questions. We're gonna go with the old question. So if you've already asked a question, we're getting ready to fly through them right now. First one is from, so the way this is gonna work, in case you're not familiar with the lightning round, this is your first time joining us, we don't take new questions. We only use the older questions that we've already received. Greg's gonna have a short time to answer them. If he doesn't answer it quick, I'm gonna call him out. We're gonna move on to the next question.
So, you need to get a buzzer.
I know I do. This one's from Sandra. I have a question about research projects. I find it difficult to get it all in, and many of my kids can't do the writing. How do you adjust to that?
You can use sentence frames. They can copy what's on the graphic organizer. And remember, they're completely flexible, so you can use only the pieces that you want to use.
This question's from Amy. Do you do e-learning? If so, what kinds of things do you assign your kids?
We don't. We do have Imagine Learning, which the kids can access from home, but that's it. We don't do any other e-learning.
This question's from Sonia. I'm new to the Smorgasbord. What do you do to get students writing more? Or do you do just writing? Or just writing. She's like, how do you get them writing more or just start writing?
They write in their journals every day. Our research projects and our Read It Up creations have lots of writing. And then Writing Through the Year from Dee Dee Wills and Deanna Jump is also a great resource.
From Suzanne, some of my kids' fine motor is not great, so they have an issue with the graphic organizers and being able to fit ideas, even when we shorten ideas to one word. Do you have any ideas to fix this?
With fine motor, they're just going to need lots of fine motor practice. Maybe give them the smaller golf pencils will help, and just continue to work on building those fine motor skills.
Questions from Valerie. I just started using the Read It Up, perfect time, for a few books. I love it, and my class is very engaged. I find that I spend a lot of time some days. How long do you spend on Read It Up each day?
About 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the book and the activity. So it really kind of just depends. And I read the book on the first day as a read aloud, and I don't reread the whole book the rest of the week. We might read a couple of pages. We might go back through and talk about the book, but I don't read the whole book every day, only on the first day.
Questions from Jamie. When you set up your room, do you set up the stations for the week or the month, or do you change them daily?
We talked about this earlier, but we only change our centers out monthly.
From Valerie, do you work on a Read It Up and research project each week, or do you alternate?
Each week.
And for those of you that might be questioning what Read It Up is, it's one of our newest series on reading comprehension. So if you go to the tksstore.com and choose from the drop-down reading, you can see all of the Read It Ups there for all the ones. We'll get new one weekly.
About weekly, yeah.
So there'll be more to come. So stay tuned.
And if you have any suggestions for books for Read It Up, send us an email.
Absolutely. kindersmorgie@gmail.com. From Katie, how do you decide which decodable reader to use with specific kids? Do you do the simple words first and then go on to simple sentences?
So the simpler decodable reader are for the kids who need really just that targeted decoding practice with that skill. The little more challenging ones I use for the kids who have the decoding of that skill. They're good with the skill, but I want to push them just a little bit and maybe even work on building a little fluency.
From Sandra, do you have a set reading series that your district uses? If so, how do you marry the boot camp and the reading series?
We have journeys, but it's only considered a resource. So we follow our district scope and sequence, and we make sure that the boot camps align with the scope and sequence.
From Shelby, how long are your centers each day?
60 minutes literacy, 30 to 40 minutes in math.
From Sarah, how do you build your chart stand with the 4 pocket charts, and how do you decide who uses it when?
So it's PVC pipe. All the directions are on the website. You can just type in pocket chart stand and you'll pull up the post. It's really whoever's there first. So the kids, if they're at centers and they need a pocket chart, they go to the pocket chart. If they need a pocket chart and they're all full, they work on the floor.
From Luann, do you have a basic outline of when you introduce and teach various skills throughout the school year?
We do. It's on the website in the Resource Center, and it's called The Big Picture, and it's a year-long plan.
Yes, so if you go to the kindergartensmorgasbord.com, we have a resource center there. Just click on Resource Center, and within that Resource Center, you can see all of Greg's lesson plans. You can see his big picture, which is the year-long, basically your scope and sequence, right, for the whole year? Is that what
yes.
you would call it?
Yeah.
You can also see his daily schedule. We have freebies there, all kinds of stuff in the Resource Center. So be sure to go and check that out. From Jade, our specials just got changed to the morning, and we have a 4-hour gap between snack and lunch. I'm trying to add snack to afternoon because we need a long morning due to ELA. Any suggestions?
Ask parents to send them in. And we have a snack in the afternoon, and my kids eat their snack while working in centers. And so we don't lose any instructional time, just something that they're eating as they're working.
From Michelle, how much time do you spend on whole group instruction?
30 minutes. So about 15 minutes for phonics, 30 minutes for whole group reading, so research project or read it up, and about 15 or 20 minutes for math.
From Christine, what is your have to move into math centers?
It varies every day, depending on what skill we're working on, and so it really varies. But it's always it's independent practice with whatever skill we're working on that day or that week.
From India, I just took over a kinder's class. It's my first year teaching. I recently finished student teaching. Any suggestions for taking over mid-year?
Pretend like it's the first day of school and build the routines, build those expectations, and build relationships.
From Liz, and she's talking about technology. Are you a 1-1 classroom? I have 2 desktops and 25 students.
We have 3 iPads, and that's all.
So 3 iPads for 19 students.
Yep, 19 kids, 3 iPads.
From Katie, what does Turn and Talk look like for you? I struggle in first grade to bring them back after Turn and Talk or Pair and Share.
So they turn and talk, and then the doorbell would be a perfect thing to use. You ring the doorbell, they would freeze and look at you. So that's a great way to get them back. I just say, okay. Okay, so I'll say, all right, we're going to turn and talk, and today it was living things. Turn and talk about living things. I give them, a minute or so, and I say, okay, tell me what you talked about, and then they know to turn back and look to me. But if they need a definite signal, use a wireless doorbell.
And for the doorbells, if you go to our website and go to our partners page, which is also under the Resource Center, you can get a doorbell from Sadotech and save 10% by using our link. So again, just go to the Resource Center. You'll see the drop-down menu there and choose Partners, and then scroll down to Sadotech. That's the doorbell that Greg recommends for his classroom. And you can read more about how he uses the doorbell in his classroom by going to the blog and type classroom management tool. I don't know if you type doorbell.
I think wireless doorbell will pull up. Doorbell will pull up, yeah.
Okay. And you can see a video of him actually using it. You can see a video of him introducing the doorbell and read all about it. From Michelle, what do you do to help those lazy 1-to-1 kids? They can count 1-to-1, but they rush and don't really try it.
If I'm working with them, I make them go back and do it again. And just I'll constantly reminding them, hey, slow down. Or I'll be like, or, they'll rush through it and they'll say, 13 when it's 15. And I'll say, are you sure? You might want to check that again.
From Samantha, when you introduce writing, how do you encourage your students to write independently?
So it's just about, I tell my kids, use your sounds. And I'll ask them, do you know your sounds? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, do you know your letters? Yeah. Well, then you can write. Go write. And so it's just about encouraging them to put letters on paper at first.
From Sarah, how long does it take you to go through and check all those center worksheets?
I don't. There's no way in the world I would ever check all of those center recording sheets. So informally, they'll show me when they're done. I walk around in between groups and check them. And so that's how we handle it. But I do not check them all.
And if you watch a lot of our live feeds on Facebook or just some of the videos on Facebook, you'll see them showing Greg their recording sheet. And I witness it as well when I come in there. And basically what I see them do is they finish, they get up there. Greg will be at his desk and he's doing guided reading or whatever. And I will see them walk by, just kind of hold up their recording sheet. Greg glances at it and
they go on.
Yeah. From Lisa, are you limited on copies you can make? Does your school provide chart paper?
They do not provide chart paper. So that's something we purchase out of pocket. The best place to get chart paper is classroomdirect.com. You get it for about $4. That's the cheapest I have found it. So it's classroomdirect.com. And then we have 500 copies a month. But if we run out, they'll up that for us. But our copier count doesn't include anything that we print from our computer. So I don't ever copy anything. Everything gets printed. Not that I would ever go over 500 anyway, because the only thing we copy are the research project journals and the recording sheets.
From Sarah, what is the best thing you do to hold students accountable for their work during centers? I feel like I've done everything I should be doing to ensure they stay on track, but we struggle.
We have a pretty powerful consequence that works really well. They get a warning. If I have to say something to them again, they clean up. They lose all choice and all fun, and they sit at the word wall with pencil, paper, and a clipboard, and they write 100 sight words.
Y'all have seen this happen, by the way. So.
And it gets them right back on track real fast.
From Pamela, does your district follow a reading or math curriculum?
We have Journeys for reading and Go Math for math, but neither one of them are required. They're considered resources.
So you use?
So I use TKS Bootcamp as our phonics curriculum and a math curriculum. We use our Read It Up resources for reading comprehension and our research project for ELA, science, and social studies.
From Megan, for Sight Word 60, what are some of the games you play on Fridays besides the Sight Word Graph and Knockout? My kids love this time, but I need something to break it up.
Oh gosh, all kinds of stuff. We just did one where I wrote the words on foam hearts, and the kids had a little arrow, and they played Cupid, and whatever the arrow landed on, we read that word. We've done games on the smart board where I write words on Post-it notes, and they walk around and write them. We've done sight word basketball where the little basketball go on my head, and they get to throw the sight words in. Lots of them on the blog. And if you come to Elevate, I share a whole lot of those types of games at Elevate.
From Edmine, do you teach science and social studies research every day?
No, it depends on what we're working on. It might be a social studies-based research project, or it might be a science-based research project. So it just depends on what research project we're doing. But we do hands-on science every Thursday with Mad Science on Thursdays.
From Jade, I have a firm tone and I have scared my kinders. Do you have any tips for working on tone?
You know, it is
That
what it
would
is.
so be me.
The thing is that, and I tend to be loud anyway, and so it is what it is. And we talk about it a lot, like, you know, Mr. Greg is loud and I have a big voice, and that's nothing to be scared of. So it is what it is.
From Julie, you are, of course, my favorite blogger about kindergarten, but who do you follow?
Oh gosh. Holly Ely from Ely Kindergarten is a great person to follow. She's so sweet, very creative.
I think I shared a couple earlier. Of course, Dee Dee Wills.
Dee Dee, we love Dee Dee. I always blank when people ask this, and like I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, who do I follow on Instagram that I love? Male kindergarten teacher is a good one. He's another male kindergarten teacher, so male kindergarten teacher. He's very, very creative. Bonnie Catherine, teaching is another good one. She's very willing to get out of the box and try new things, which I love.
Our friend in Vegas.
Kindergarten Chaos, Abby, is another great one.
I remember hers earlier.
Kindergarten Chaos is hers.
From Christy, are your boot camps before your shared reading or in between centers?
So this year, the way our schedule works is we have our 30-minute, I don't use the full 30 minutes, but we have a 30-minute phonics window. And then we leave and go to specials and come back and do the rest of it. So the phonics happens first.
From Laura, can you go into more detail with your different small groups in your ELA time? I've never heard of the difference.
So guided reading is specifically guided reading instruction, working with leveled text at their instructional level. Small group instruction is more focused on phonics work and working on phonics and word work. And no, there's not a text in front of them unless it's a decodable reader, but it's a decodable reader. It's not a leveled reader. So guided reading is really the leveled reading instruction with a leveled text in front of them. The small group is more phonics and word work.
And our last question is from Suzanne. Is there a way to make the big word app randomize the words, or is it always in the same order?
It's always in the same order. And if there is a way to do it, I don't know it. And we've actually stopped using that app, and we now project the sight words on our smart board because it's bigger, and so it just works a little better.
And we don't usually do this, but because it's hey, Jesse, she asked a question, and I'm going to go ahead and ask it anyway. We don't usually come back and take new ones, but...
Hold on, I have an announcement to make.
What?
Everybody, tomorrow's the Mister's birthday.
Oh.
Tell him happy birthday.
Thank you. We had an amazing ice cream cake earlier. I like ice cream cake for my birthday. I've had an ice cream cake for my birthday since I was a little boy. From Baskin Robbins, either a mint chocolate chip or just regular chocolate chip with chocolate cake from Baskin Robbins. It's my favorite. So hey, Jesse, ask. And I don't know what this means. Do you have to DRA your students?
We don't. No, it's a reading, literacy, literature assessment, skills assessment, and we don't. We do running records. We do fast, which is like Ames, Web, or Dibbles. Those are what we use. We don't do DRA.
So one last time, I want to cover all the things that we have going on here, and a couple of things I want to make sure that you know about. Number one, you need to go and sign up for ESGI right now. If you have not signed up for ESGI, now is the time to do it. You're going to use the code SMorgieBonkers. You're going to be entered for a $500 gift card to Amazon or an Apple Watch. You're going to get your 60-day free trial, and you're going to save $40 from your purchase. If you purchase by the 22nd, so you only have a couple days, you're going to get a $50 gift card to a spa. You're going to get an additional 6 months on your license. Plus, you're going to save the $40. So now's the time to do it. If you've been thinking about it, now is the time. And you can just go to esgisoftware.com, use the code SMorgieBonkers, and you're good to go. Also, you need to sign up for an account at tgasstore.com. You're going to sign up and activate. Once you do that, you're going to get a coupon for 25% off the purchase. And last but not least, you need to check out all of our Elevate conferences at elevateyourclassroom.com. We're coming to Nashville, Austin, and Chicago. Mr. Greg, close us out.
Thanks, guys, for watching. We know it's a busy time of year, so we always appreciate that you take time out of your night to hang out with us and ask thoughtful questions. I love that you guys are collaborating in the chat, and that's what it's all about, and that's what the TKS is all about. It's about working together, supporting one another, and taking care of one another. And so we always like to end with a heartfelt thank you for all that you do in your classroom every day for your students, for the amazing work and the sacrifices that you make every day and every week of the school year. So thank you for all that you do. Remember that teaching is the hardest job in the world, but it's the best job in the world. So give yourself some grace, love one another, support each other, take care of each other. And remember to keep sharing your positive classroom moments on social media with the hashtag Happy Classrooms so that we can control the conversation around schools and education. And again, thank you so much for joining us. If you need anything, please reach out through email or social media. We're happy to help, and we'll see you hopefully next month. We'll be a little busy next month, so
They know.
we'll be having a baby. At this time next month. So we may be here, we may not be for the next submissions for Smorgie Live. So stay tuned to social media and we will let you know if we're going to be back next month. But if not, we'll be back soon for submissions for Smorgie Live as we adjust to a life with a baby.
You'll probably hear one crying in the background.
Or I'll be holding her as we're answering questions. And that'll be our new normal, and we'll figure it out and make it
dog
work.
Barking, you may hear a baby crying.
And dogs barking. So, all right. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. And again, if you need us, please feel free to reach out. Thanks, everybody.